You will not have another season where you are alone, because God is bringing the love of your life across your path. And listen, it's going to be what you imagined and some. Okay, so get ready for it. It can be so hard when these special occasions come around and you don't have anyone significant in your life to share these events with, to share these happy moments with, to share the season with. Okay, I want to encourage you today, because what you need to understand is that this is not going to be the case always. It can be so difficult when you look at social media and you see all of these people celebrating their happy lives with their happy families and their beautiful homes and their perfect children and their romantic dates and their all of this stuff that you see playing out in front of you, right? It can leave you feeling like some type of loser, like, man, I am just really not living my best life. When the fact of the matter is that you have been hidden, you have been placed in isolation for a season. And when God brings you out of that isolation, you are going to have an explosion of joy, an explosion of love, an explosion of just overall happiness, okay? Because God is going to bless you with what you have not had. This is how God moves in many situations. There's a season and a time for everything. Sometimes it's your season to be alone, and sometimes it's your season to be in union with someone. Now, this is how you know when it is your time to be with someone. When you start to have the desire for love, companionship, friendship, the closeness and the bond that comes when two people come together that God has ordained, okay? There's something to be said about that. The blessing in the season of loneliness is that it readies you, it equips you for when love comes your way, because you have all this time to think about all the things that maybe you did wrong, all the things that you did right, and take all of your life lessons and your lessons learned from past love and all those things and bring them to a space where you can now be successful in love and relationship. Listen, God is restoring many of you. He's restoring you in this season. He's restoring you in this time. And what you have to understand is your faithfulness is the thing that's going to explode the blessing. You know, you get to a place in your life when you just know, and you just refuse to waste time just, wasting time. You just refuse to settle for anything that is not God's best for you. You just won't have it, because you've already been there, done that. And you see the consequences and the results that yield from being in wrong relationship. It can be devastating. It can be devastating. It can take years away from you, okay? And you have to circle back around the mountain to get back to where you need to be, and that can just be very costly. Okay, it can be very costly. So you become more invested in making sure that you let God choose, okay, and that you're patient in your waiting. For some of you, you are going to meet the love of your life before the clock strikes 12 in 2024. Okay, it's going to happen, because listen, what you have to understand about God is that when he brings restoration, it happens suddenly. It happens so suddenly, and it happens so quickly that you cannot deny that God's hand was the one who caused the restoration, who caused the sudden success, the sudden love, okay? God is in the suddenly business. And I know that sounds cliche, because you always hear people say, suddenly God's going to do this and suddenly God's going to do that. But this is how our God works in every arena, okay? And it's when you least expect it, and it's what makes the blessing so sweet, the blessing of love so sweet, right? So when you think about the holidays, and you think about Christmas, and you think about all these times that you've been alone, I want you to begin to get excited about what is coming. All the things and the visions that you have in your mind about the love that you want, about how you want your love life to play out, and the type of love that you want to give to the person that God brings your way. all that is going to happen and some, okay? It's going to blow your mind. But what you need to do is start to posture yourself for love. Start to ready yourself and prepare your mind that love is coming your way. So I just want to encourage those of you who are alone this season, you're by yourself and you're like, man, it's Christmas, you know, like I have no one to hug. I have no one to tell me I'm beautiful. I want to let you know that you're beautiful. You're beautiful. You're gorgeous. God sees you. He loves you. He knows you. He formed you. Okay. And he has prepared the perfect mate just for you. It will happen. Love is coming your way. And you have to believe that it is. Don't sit there and go, oh, well, I've been by myself for 10 years and the Lord ain't sent me nobody yet, so it's just not gonna happen. Well, you're gonna have what you say, okay? If you don't believe that it will happen, then it's not gonna happen, because your entire focus is it's not gonna happen. And so you are repelling the very thing that you say that you want so desperately, okay? So pray and ask the Lord to show you what it is that you need to do in order to prepare. Maybe you have a wrong mindset. You give off no. You give off don't talk to me. You give off I don't want to be bothered. But when you are ready for love, you give off joy. You give off peace. You give off love. You give off kindness, right? You give off just a softness about yourself, and it's welcomes love to find you and meet you, okay? So listen, pray and ask the Lord what it is that you specifically need to do in order to position yourself for love, because this is not going to be an ordinary love, okay? So you have to be prepared like you have never been prepared for love before. There's a mindset change that has to go into the intentional behavior that it requires to sustain love and to be the kind of person that is deserving of love and can give love, okay? So I hope I said that right. That sounded like a lot, but I hope you got what I was saying. You basically have to be intentional in order to get what it is that you are going to have forever, what it is that you've been asking God to bring you, okay? So many people go into this thing and they go, relationships are hard. They work. It's stressful. You know why I think it's like that? Because people put themselves together as opposed to allowing God to choose. Now, that does not mean if God chooses your mate that you're never going to have a difficult time with each other, that you're never going to have a disagreement. However, it does mean that you are going to see your mate for who they are. And that is the person that God brought into your life. And so you are not going to be so quick to throw them away. You're going to be mindful of the things that you say, and you're going to be very intentional about making sure that your love is a priority. It's like you have to look at it like this. Do you want to be in love or do you want to win the argument? Okay? I know it sounds crazy, but do you want to win? Do you want to be in love? Do you want to stay connected, okay, to your person? Or do you just want to win at every turn? Because listen, the two of you win when you're together. So be encouraged. I know it's tough being lonely. I know it's tough being by yourself and feeling like I don't have anybody here for me. That person is coming for you. That person is not only coming for you, they are running towards you, okay? And when you get them, never let them go. Hold on to them with all of your might, with all of your heart, and understand that this is who God has ordained for you since before you were formed in your mother's womb, okay? So I love you on today. Be blessed on today. God loves you so much more. Until next time, I'll see you soon.